Okay, so today we're going to be looking at a blog and newsletter sending service, SaaS. And write blog and send newsletters is the H1. So we're going to go straight ahead and jump in onto the 14-day trial. And as we can see here, very simple, just an email to get in, which is great. But it would be really nice if there was the ability to, sign in, create an account with existing platforms, Gmail, for example, Twitter, whatever the case might be. Makes it so much easier, and especially as I'm going to use my Gmail account anyway. So, which is what I use for pretty much everything. Okay, so let's get started. Awesome, check your inbox, we're waiting for you. Okay, it's fair enough. I'm going to make sure I'm not some bot. Okay, so you're confirmed. You can now create your very first blog. See, straight away you put up a step, whereas you could have just taken me to the app and said the exact same thing. So you're making me click on something else to go through here. Okay, so let's give this blog a name. Okay, Nathan's blog. You can see I was here before. This is my first blog, NJ Powell, Blogtastic, time zone, okay. Couple of things here already. The font is different on the drop down, it's a minor detail, but consistency is incredibly important throughout the interface. And as there are so many time zones, it would be great if you had some kind of search. Actually, let me just try. No, so Madrid doesn't go. So I have to scroll all the way down. Europe, Madrid. Okay, great blog. And again, you've put in another step where it doesn't need to be there. So it's being created. Continue to your posts. Just take me straight to the post area, wherever it is you're going to send me, and say, well done, it's been created. So you're putting in steps that don't need to be there. Okay, so straight away we are into the dashboard. Nice simple layout. Left hand side, posts, rather writing with posts, categories, pages, then audience, subscribers and stats, and then this is the blog I just created with the URL. Settings down the bottom left, and then the profile underneath it. Seems a little strange to have that layout as it is, but we'll go with it for now. The ability to create a new post. But there's no real guidance on what to do or what might be the best way. Also, there's no kind of welcome, especially for a smaller SaaS and you're working towards a particular audience. It's really nice to be able to give your software a voice. And one way to do that is to welcome me to your software, whether that's personally or through a message. Video is great. I don't have to watch it, but it's a nice option to have. Okay, so I can see up here, to start collecting subscribers to your newsletter, please fill out your address on settings and newsletter. But there's no way for me to get there. This is merely informative. I mean, it would be incredibly simple, right? Just to have me click on one of these and you take me to that area. So I have to go and find newsletter in settings now to add those details. Okay, there's no way to get rid of this message, so I'm presuming that until I do this, you're going to bug me about it. So, okay, so yeah, it would be great to have some kind of start here, work your way through. It's my prerogative to ignore that, but it should be, it should be there. It's nice to be there. Okay, so let's go to create a new post. Post save, draft, publish. I can see you've got settings over here. Your title, let's see if it takes the title from the page title. Okay, and it does. Nice that you've got a navigational element here to take us back. Add author, nothing to show. Categories, after clicking on add categories, nothing to show. Add related, nothing to show. Okay. Don't give me the option to do something and then not let me do anything about it. If I can't add an author or a category or anything related at this point, for whatever the reason is, I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know why I can't add an author or a category. So don't give me the option to add it or grey it out or give me the option. Excuse me. Okay, so moving on. Description, this is my blog. Description. Okay, so we've got a very basic editing bar here. Got the ability to add image, embed, code, line, code here, HTML. Did that just change? Did you give me extra options then? Once you did. Okay, that's weird. Something, I don't know, was that a bug? I think so. Okay, something to look out for there. So let's okay, let's get some sample text here. Let's see what happens. Write something. Okay, nice big font size. And what about if I start typing? Okay, so I'm guessing that once I select something, it's alright. Okay. Okay, link, text as belief, URL, open a new tab. Okay, nice and straightforward. Whoa. Okay, so a lot of secondary functions here, some which are repeated up in the top bar. I guess, you know, the main functions we would typically use. But I think also something like headings is pretty commonly used. Again, that's a very long list, so again, it might be nice, and you do have the correct font here, it might be nice to have a search function in there. It might also be nice to have more of these actually up in here. I mean, lists and things like that is something that are used a lot, especially in blog posts. I appreciate you trying to keep this minimal, but that's a lot of stuff going on over there. Okay, so post saved draft. One other thing, these post saved, obviously draft, they're probably going to fail a lot of contrast tests, accessibility, things like that. Very faint, the outline on these buttons, and obviously the draft. If you check that out in contrast, any contrast online checker, foreground and background, you'll see those fail. Another thing with the publish button is this is an action button, but it shows a tick, and that will suggest that it's already being published. So maybe you might want to think about reversing that and add the tick after. So let's go ahead and publish. Okay, published with the link here. Does that copy? Doesn't give any feedback on copying. Let me. Yes, it does. Okay, but no feedback there. So great, be great to get some feedback with one of those ticks or something similar. Post published successfully. The only thing here is that you've changed the layout. Because we had publish over here, then we had, I think it was saved and draft. I would recommend keeping the buttons in the same place. Have published over here where you had the publish button, and have it as it's something that's successful. Because moving around UI elements is not a great thing to do, because you're constantly having to check and thinking, well, where's this going to go now? Okay, so that's great. Let's go back. Let's have a look. Categories, I'm presuming, going to be the same deal. Yes, new categories. Okay. Pages, again, are going to be the same there. So it's great that you do have the same structure throughout each one of those. Consistency is key. Subscribers, we don't have any subscribers, and we're not going to until we fill out the settings newsletter that I have to go and look for. So let's go and have a look for it now. Settings, newsletter. Disable blog static included newsletter subscription. I think the wording there is a little funkier. I know what you're getting at, but it's not very clear at all, so you want to think about rewording that. Okay, so this is the info I need to fill out before I can start collecting, which is fair enough, because I think it's a legal requirement. One thing here in settings. So settings is where you have everything stored. Settings is not within a collapsible tab. Everything else is. And imagine I have all of this open because I'm working my way through. That's a lot of scrolling and it's a lot of looking. An easier way to deal with this, especially as you only have, how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be to have, to perhaps bring up a secondary navigation here across the top where you could have all of them fitted in, all of them visible, and then each one would have their own separate tab. That would be a much easier experience for the user. And I saw something here while I was scrolling here. 2 columns on any form is never recommendable. I know you're probably trying to get away from having a long list there, but generally best practices, etc., you don't want to double up on those columns. I would take those down into a separate deal, and maybe show some of the most common ones and then have the option to expand and see some of the long ones. Again, when you have those in a separate page, it's not going to be a problem because you're going to have far more space. Okay, let's have a look in add profile name. See, I would suggest taking my profile name. Oh, actually, to be fair, no, I put in only the email, didn't I? As I say, perhaps if you collected the name as well, name and email to sign up, you could take the profile from that. Possibly not a big deal, but maybe something you'd want to look at. Okay, so we've got profile. So add profile names. This would be where I add my name. Okay, but there's a bit of confusion there because there's add profile name and then the first setting is profile. So while the two are obviously related, there's no clear indication that to add my profile name, I need to go to profile. What this title suggests here, add profile name, is that I will add my name here, but that's not the case because there's a little menu here. So by going to menu, Nathan Powell, update. Okay, then I have to click back. Possibly you could take them back here again. Again, that's something you want to look at. But anyway, so now profile, blogs, payment. Why? I'm a little confused as to why blogs is actually in the profile section, and I'll tell you why. We have this blog up here, Nathan's blog, the first blog I've created. I'm guessing if I go to blogs now, I can add a new blog. So it's create multiple, I have to upgrade. Okay, that's fair enough. That's something I'd want to know anyway. So, but my point being is that if there's the ability to have blogs here, it seems like a very strange place to have it in profile. I would consider moving that up here and having the one I'm actually active in now displayed, and then maybe having a drop down menu here with the option to add new blog, create new blog, and the list of blogs I actually have within that. But yeah, I mean, I think, so this, I've gone on for way too long already. I think, as you can see, what would be essentially the first 5 minutes of your new customer's journey, there are already quite a few areas that would detract from the overall experience. It could definitely be improved. And those, I think, the areas I've covered here are some of those areas that you'd want to look at, and then from then on, go to the second round of sort of discovery and development and customer feedback as well, obviously. So yeah, I hope this has been useful. This is the day one on the entire month of May, publishing a review, a UX review essentially on the first 5 minutes of your customer experience within your SaaS. If you want to get one of these done for your own SaaS, just check out on Twitter, drop a comment in any one of the posts, and I will put it in the queue. Okay guys, I hope this was helpful. Cheers, have a great day.